As promised in the last video, in the 1917 A1 accessory series, told you we would start talking about some of the tools. Excuse me. Now this is the part that gets me excited because there's a lot of time and effort went into these, and there are details that a lot of people overlook with a collection. This is a tool roll M12. You see these at gun shows and places. Of course, they're all empty. Then you have to spend the time. The fun part is finding the contents. One of these would have been issued with each gun, and each gun crew would have known how to use it. It's a basic, very simple toolkit. This one was made in 1943 and fungus proof to 1945. It was new old stock surplus. But inside the tool roll, you've got a couple of tools. Now those tools are listed on the drawings for this actual tool roll. And in this, there should be 3 punches helping to dismantle some of the finer parts of the firearm. These are called parallel jaw pliers, or as the Army likes to call them, pliers flat nose side cutting. Now I'm cheating here because these are the civilian model. These were made by lots of different companies. The military ones are actually made by Utica. It's got a replacement bolt right there. The original military ones were made by Utica, and they have a military marking number. I believe these were made by Bernard, I think. But pretty common. But being a parallel jaw makes them pretty useful. You notice the jaws open parallel and instead of the normally like regular jaws. Also has a little wire cutter for cutting the wires off of wire-bound crates. This is an extractor for ruptured cases, and we'll talk about ruptured case extraction here in a few minutes. But this is a ruptured case extractor that every gun crew would have wanted and every gun crew would have needed. Now this guy took me a while to find. This is called a combination tool. It has drawing numbers on it. It took me quite a while to find one of these, and these tend to be, I wouldn't say expensive, but for what it is, it's not real cheap. But it has a set of the pins on it. It also has a flat screwdriver. It has another screwdriver here for taking that steam tube out. A small wrench, but this is for taking the muzzle gland out of the water-cooled machine gun. Pretty cool little kit if you're going to be a water-cooled machine gun shooter, collector, or displayer. Everybody needs one of these tool rolls. The problem with being a collector is you keep finding things that you didn't know you needed. So as I've collected display items and parts and pieces for this Browning machine gun display over the years, I keep running across things, and then it just puts a bee in my bonnet, and I have to search the world over until I find it. This is one of those things. This is an armorer's tool roll for the Browning machine gun, and it's known by the nomenclature Roll Tool Armors 41R 2734-150. Now I hunted this piece of canvas for a very long time, and when I finally got a hold of one, then the fun of filling it up commenced. And so what we'll do is we'll show you the inside and then put everything in it that belongs in it. Now this can be found in the Siegel's Handbook of Machine Gun Support Equipment and Accessories. Now, as this is an armorer's tool roll, this would have just been for a unit armorer and for the maintenance. A crew wouldn't have carried this through the field, but it does belong with a 30 caliber machine gun, and I'm just going based off what was in the book as to what he had in each pocket. So the pockets are numbered, and pocket number 1 is supposed to have a firing pin protrusion gauge in it for, you got a max and a min for the Browning machine gun, 1917A1 and 1919A4. As you fire a machine gun over and over and over, the firing pin actually does elongate and gets extruded out the front of the bolt. And so this is for rubbing up and down the face of the bolt to see if your firing pin is the correct length. So that's what goes in pocket number 1. We have an unnumbered pocket here, and it doesn't have anything in the book listed to go in that pocket, but I will show you later what I put in that pocket. In the book, pocket number 2 has 3 dummy cartridges. Now these are all dated 1930. You notice they got pressed sides on them and no primers. That is to designate them as dummy cartridges. These are for checking the function and the cycling of your gun once you have worked on it. Pocket number 3 is the firing pin hole gauge. This is a gauge for determining if the hole in the end of the bolt is the correct diameter or if it has become worn through firing. All right, pocket 4. So this is not really a pocket, it's more of a loop or a belt there. And what goes in it is one of these little spare parts envelopes. You see these fairly common, fairly frequently. And in that, you can see this come out of a Army surplus store at some point. It was marked at 50 cents, then marked down to 25 cents, and in the past it was purchased. But in that, you have a couple of 30 caliber cleaning brushes. So I'm going to try to orient this tool roll so that when we're done with it, it matches the picture in the Siegel book, and we'll look at it together here in a few minutes. So there are those. Pocket number 5 is an M5 tripod wrench. So this is for working on the 1917A1 tripod. So that little handle is stored inside there. When needed, it is put through the little T slot. And so it is stored up in that pocket, but in Mr. Siegel's book, it is displayed like that. So let me get these. I'm looking at the book off screen so that I can see how he's got his stuff laid out. We're going to try to match it. Okay. Pocket number 5 is also cleaning patches or swabs. These are original unissued World War II cleaning patches, and they will also go kind of just stuffed up in that pocket. Pocket number 6 is a bore or barrel reflector. Now those of you that've never seen one of these are pretty cool. You can stick this in the bore of your gun, point the barrel toward the light and look down through it, and you can actually see your, I don't know if I can get it where you can see or not. You can see down your bore and see your rifling and see whether it's clean or not. So that goes in pocket number 5 or 6, just like so. Pocket number 7 is a timing gauge. This is a timing and headspace gauge. Well, timing really, for the 30 caliber machine gun. So in his book, he just has one of these in here. In some photos, you see this guy. This is also a timing and a headspace. Just know that if you don't have that one, this one would go in its stead. They both work about the same. This is a little harder to come by. Pocket number 8 is going to be those little drive pins that we talked about a while ago. What did they look? Here we go. So 8, 9, and 10 are these pins. Pin punches, I should say. Pocket 11, all the way back over here, is a file set. And there are 3 files that go in that pocket. So there is a triangular file, a round file, and a flat file. You got this little strap that opens to strap those handles down. Also in this pocket goes a small adjustable wrench. A lot of the tools that are used are just civilian tools carried over. Pocket 12 is another set of the parallel jaw pliers. These were made by Sargent. These are also a civilian pair. The military pair were made by Utica and they had a dark finish. But until I find a pair of the military set, these are my placeholders. Pocket 13 is this little spanner wrench. This is also a wrench to work on the 1917A1 tripod. Pocket 14 is another ruptured case extractor. So this is what I do with this unnumbered pocket. I keep an old casing that I've sawed the base off of. What a ruptured case is during combat or during excessive firing, sometimes the bases will pull off, leaving this part in the chamber. This is stuck through the casing. It pushes through, it expands, grabs the throat of the cartridge, and extracts the casing out of the chamber. So this is a ruptured case extractor. It's a pain in the butt to get the actually get the cartridge back off. So I'll do that off camera in a minute. But 14 is your ruptured case extractor. Pocket 15 is this guy. Now my children get a kick out of this and they can tell you the number of this screwdriver. I hunted this screwdriver for 2 years. Of all of the things in military service that you think would have use in the civilian market, it'd be a folding screwdriver. These are known as a C68338 screwdriver. They're not very frequently found. At this point, luckily I have 2, but this was one of the last, if not the last tool that I was able to find or had to find because my number 15 pocket there was empty. But that is where your C68338 screwdriver goes. Pocket number 16 is where your 3-ounce oiler can goes. It just slides right into that pocket. Pocket number 17, the large adjustable wrench. Pocket number 18, M6 combination wrench. This does everything. Muzzle gland, all of your common nuts and bolts, the screw for the steam condensing hose, and the pins. That goes pocket number 18. Pocket number 19. I'm gonna have to leave this out for a second so that you can see where it goes. This is the handle for the bearing plug wrench. Now, the 1919A4 has a muzzle bearing on the end. It's got a little notch across the end, and so this is the wrench handle that goes with the socket. And it goes right there. Also, you have the cleaning rods, segmented cleaning rods that go there as well. So in Mr. Siegel's book, in the photograph, he has a couple of things that really don't have a pocket for. One of which is that little bearing wrench that we just talked about. And another is this short machinist hammer for you to be able to do work on. So there is the armorer's tool roll for 30 caliber belt-fed machine guns. You're looking, for me, about 3 years worth of looking and finding and searching and scouring, and sometimes just getting really lucky. So I'm exceptionally proud of this, and when we put displays out, I have a table that is dedicated just to maintenance, and it'll have the M12 tool roll, it'll have the 30 caliber armorer's tool roll, and rarely does anybody ever come up and ask questions about anything in this tool roll. They just kind of go, tools. What they don't realize is the amount of determination and passion it takes to find all of those specific tools. And I'm very proud to be able to share it with you. I hope some of you have enjoyed this and have learned something. So now what I'm going to do is I'll do my dead level best to get this tool roll to match the photo in Mr. Siegel's book, so that you can see the side-by-side comparison. So thank you for hanging out with me today and learning about some of the tools necessary to work on and maintain the 30 caliber belt-fed machine guns. And next time, we'll talk about the spare parts box. Until then, God bless you.